Welcome back to Absolutely PlayStation and Steam Gamers. If you were just watching the news podcast, I was getting into a rant that does not need to be on the news podcast. It is a separate episode right here. All right, app games. So here's the thing with app games, okay? I'm going to give a quick recap in case you happen to jump into this. We were talking in our news show about the sales of app games, and we were talking, and Shank's comment was, I just need to stop judging app games, right?
Right. I mean, I think what started was Valorant's coming to phones and mobile platforms.
Right.
And I was like, well, Valorant's a PC game. Why is it doing that? But then Benny made a good point. Fortnite's over there. Call of Duty's over there. They
PUBG.
make different PUBG. Now, are these the same games or are they making different versions of them?
They are different versions. Fortnite is the same version. PUBG is considered PUBG Mobile. It pretty much plays the same, but you don't play with the PC players, I don't believe.
Right. So with Call of Duty, PUBG, and Fortnite, what they've done is Fortnite, you can opt out of playing with PC players. Call of Duty and Fortnite and PUBG put you onto their own servers. The way all three of them work is the auto aim is cranked beyond belief. So it's like, what are those? Do you want to deal with them or not? And actually, I get to talk about it too. I just played another one coming out, and this is part of my discussion today. So I think the problem with mobile games in comparison to other trends in gaming where they just kind of get adapted, loot crates, oh, terrible, horrible idea. A year later, we're all kind of on board. Oh, they got banned. Well, all right, cool, whatever. You know what I mean? Like battle passes, same reaction. Live services, same reaction. Your game's having DLC, same reaction. Xbox, EA Pass, Xbox Live Pass, everyone has terrible reaction, then we kind of accept it. But app games have still got the same connotation of, no, it's what your grandmother plays on her phone, it's Candy Crush, which, by the way, is a fun game, I'm just saying.
So,
I've played a lot
to put it in context to where I'm at with it, when I think app game, the first two games that come to mind are Raid Shadow Legends and Clash of Clans. Do you guys remember Clash of Clans?
Oh,
yeah. Yep. It's still good. I still play
Games that will intentionally put a block in front of you that encourages you to spend money in order to basically make it pay to win. I think the pay to win is my biggest issue with app games. If they don't have that, then I'm generally fine with the games.
What you need to avoid is anything PvP based, it's going to be pay to win. It doesn't matter. There's no getting around it. You want to look for the ones with story.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. I think the problem with app games is, first off, it was considered trashy games like a Candy Crush. And then we had a period of like 5 years of what I call the shovelware, which is exactly what you're talking about, Shank. They would show up and be like, all right, well, if you want to succeed, here's a $100 package, and here's a $50 package, and here's a $200 package. And in all honesty, none of that is any different than you logging onto Destiny this season and them going, so our Eververse changed. Now you have to click it because we have to show you what is for sale. The difference is they're not blatantly in Destiny being like, we want you to buy this stuff. They're like, if you've got $10 extra, maybe just throw it at a Eververse costume. Yeah, that's a Destiny.
The other difference is that transactions like that have a negative connotation in PC, PS4, Xbox, and Switch games.
They do, right.
On mobile games, it seems like everybody's just like, well, I mean, Huey just said it. Well, if it's a PvP game, you got to expect that. Like,
yeah.
That's what it's going to be. And it's like, that's my issue is that until mobile games get past that, oh, well, that's just how it's going to be, I'm always going to look at them as, okay, it's a game that's intentionally going to bottleneck me somewhere and try to get me to pay money in order to continue playing.
All right. I'm going to bring up a non-app game now, quick, just to ask you. Did you ever play Black Desert Online?
A little bit.
They do that. At the end game, they try to get you to buy.
So, and this is actually a problem in the market. So here's the issue right now, and I can tell you the big part of this. Console gamers, PC gamers, the big reason why their argument is like, you can't add microtransactions to my game. I pay $60, I get a complete game. That is our dealings. There's slight issues with that, which is what led to the monetization strategies of EA and things like that. First off, in that market, you did pay upfront for a video game, and that is a problem because since you're paying upfront for a video game, you expect not to pay anything later. But as the years have gone on, the developers and the companies aren't making back their money as the games get more expensive to make, so forth. That has led down the path of season passes, DLCs, reusing assets, $100 Darth Vaders, that thing like that. They're all trying different methods to make back the money. App games, on the other hand, just let you download them for free. And then they throw all that stuff at you, but you didn't pay anything for your game. So it makes it a little more okay in the mind of someone who's like, well, I'll just do $10 here. And I'll just do $20 here. Because you know what? I've been playing this game for 40 hours and I didn't spend $60 on it. What an app game is hoping for by throwing everything in your face is that you have an unlimited expendable amount of money and you're going to buy all the packs. And the way app games work, and I watched a great video on this recently about how monetization of app games and all that stuff works. What they're hoping for, let's say the three of us here, okay? Shank, you downloaded, let's say you bought Call of Duty Mobile, okay? We all downloaded Call of Duty Mobile. And Shank, you refused to spend a dime. And Huey here, he drops $100 on a battle pass and a bunch of costumes. And me, I just want to be much better than all of you. So I dropped $1,000 on costumes, gun skins, and all that kind of stuff, right? And I'm running around going, hey, Huey, look at my gun skins. And Huey goes, well, $100 more will get me a few more gun skins. And Shank, you're like, I'll finally do the $10. That's what they're hoping for. They're hoping for the Benny is now supporting the Huey and the Shank. And if I spent $1,000, the equivalent of like 20 other people, that's what they're aiming for. And that's what app games do. The problem is when they get super predatory, and that's where you hear a lot of the issues, a lot of the oh, this one got into the news and this one got into the news, because there's no governing body that decides what an app game does. If you want to put a game on PlayStation, you have to pass PlayStation. If you want to put it on Steam, they don't seem to give a crap. But you do have something to pass through to get it on Steam. Epic, same deal. But a tablet, Apple and Google don't care. Just upload it.
They just want their cut.
Yeah, that's all it is. So it goes back to, do you remember the Nintendo Wii, the shovelware age, where if you wanted a Wii game, it was surrounded by 20 kids games that were all reskins of the exact same game. That's what the app stores are. And the problem is real games get lost in that. Like, everyone likes to give Huey crap for Epic 7. But Epic 7 is actually a very tactical, old-school RPG battler. I just got the privilege of playing Nier's new game, the beta. And that was a fully fleshed out, old-school RPG battle with full-blown Nier-style graphics and animations roaming the entire world of Nier. Open world. And they didn't even plaster sails on the screen. It was literally just Nier. And it's considered the third game in the series. I'm playing a game called Arknights, and Arknights doesn't throw a lot of things in your face to buy, and it's a fully fleshed out story and a tower defense game with all different kinds of characters.
Actually, Arknights, I don't think has once thrown a pack in my face.
Yeah. And
there's a little corner where they show them, but there's no like, look at this, buy it now.
And the thing is, I think we're entering into a weird world with mobile games where it is definitive. A mobile game will make far more money than any other game. And the reason for that is the predatory practices are accepted. Even though they're not good, they're accepted. You just go, nope, and play your game. And the install base is so much larger than a PS5, a PS4, a PC that can run some high-end graphics. I mean, my phone, I think, is more powerful than my Switch. So you can, yeah. The issue I have with app games is the controls in some of them. So and I'm allowed to talk about this, I got to play the new Final Fantasy Battle Royale game on my phone. It plays exactly like Fortnite with Final Fantasy. I was grabbing materia out of boxes, getting guns, getting a sword, running around, and the controls were atrocious. I had a tablet in my hand, and I had to move with the left, and I'm sitting here trying to gun, aim, cycle, gun, materia, aim, and it's all real time. So it's not like anything's pausing so I can do things. And I'm getting shot left and right. Like, how? Who's doing this?
People on BlueStacks with controllers.
No, I agree. But what I'm saying is that I think is the biggest hurdle of app games. They need to be more accepted as actual games, and the control scheme needs to be fixed. We need to figure out a consistent control scheme for app games.
Right. That was going to be my next complaint, was that I just don't like the controls.
Yeah.
I mean, I just can't deal with them. It's not fun.
I agree with you 100%. They're actually, Razer just released a controller. You put your phone in and you just play the app game with the controller now.
Really?
See, that'd
Yes.
be something. But the issue is that everybody's phone's a different size. So.
Oh, no, it adjusts to your phone.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. I'd be down for a solution like that.
Mm-hmm.
But
that is another $100-something attachment you need to now buy to play games properly on your phone.
Yeah.
right. But if there are games worth playing, then I don't have a problem dropping $100 to play them. I need to get out of my 2015, 2016 mindset of everything that's on my phone is trying to bottleneck my progress. Because I mean, you were saying like you could spend $1,000 on skins.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with you spending $1,000 on skins and then me maybe buying $10 worth of skins. I have an issue when you buy $1,000 worth of crystals that let you build up faster and have this huge, like, I guess Clash of Clans is my biggest like hold up. I tried playing that game. It was predatory as hell.
Oh, yeah.
And it has literally just tainted the water for me for app games. And I need to move past that because I mean, I talk with you guys every week now and like you tell me how good all these games are. So clearly I have an outdated belief in what app games are.
The problem with a lot of games, and this also adds to the idea that they're all predatory. Kiss of War is a great one. The Kiss of War, the State of Survival. They do these cheesy predatory ads. Look at the butt jiggle. You want to save the girl? None of that is in the game. You know what I mean? Like,
App games have the worst ads.
Or because they make $500 million in a month, looking at you, Genshin, they also can pay every YouTuber and podcast to go, Raid Shadow Legends. Raid Shadow Legends is actually a very solid RPG battler. Raid Shadow Legends also bottlenecks you and throws 5 packs at you on a daily basis, going, if you just bought this, you could be faster. And the inherent problem with BDO, the inherent problem with app games and battlers, the moment you add PvP into those games, even if you're not intentionally making them pay to win, just for example, let's just use the three of us again. We're all playing a new app game. It's got PvP, and the new character drops. And in order to level up that new character, you need all these materials. Shank, you're going to do it the hardcore free-to-play way, and it's going to take you a month to get that character ready. Huey's going to spend about $100 and get him there in about 2 weeks. And I'm going to drop $500 and tomorrow have the strongest character in the game. So now, for that next month, I am destroying you. That's the problem. If you give the option to pay for convenience, even if it's not technically pay to win, that convenience is allowing me to win. You know what I mean? Like,
because guess what's going to happen in 2 months? The new character's going to come out.
Right. And then we're all going to be starting the cycle a second time,
Yeah, that's my exact complaint with the game.
So, and Huey's right. If you ever want to get into the app game world, avoid PvP.
Even if it's not PvP though, what if it's co-op raiding? Like, what if there's a co-op raid and you have the best character because you spent $500 and I'm stuck with an outdated character and we're getting bottlenecked at DPS? Like, I guess that's my issue is that
doesn't happen too often at all.
No,
I've never really run into that problem in the co-op.
Most PvE content is 100% free to play in those games.
Because they're hoping for the whale that will spend the $1,000 to keep up with the PvP cycle while you get to enjoy the PvE.
Because that video Benny mentioned brought up a great point.
Real quick, if you're wondering what video that is, it's from something Strife
Hey,
Hayes.
Dylan, link it below.
Yeah, I know he's a great guy for MMOs, but he made a whole video about this, and it brought into perspective a lot of things that me and Huey fall into.
Yeah. So what was I going to say before you interrupted me?
Josh Strife Hayes, that was it.
Yes. The reason it's pay to win is because there's people that want to pay. So I would fall under what they call a guppy with my spending, because I'll spend a couple $100 here, a couple $100 there. But then there's people that will spend $2,000 a day.
Yeah.
And the reason they do this is, one, so the number one player, but two, most importantly, so they can rub it in the free-to-play players' faces. It's literally bragging rights.
And the big reason they do, and the big reason that works, and this is the development cycle they run into, is the game is getting funded by that one guy spending $2,000, but they need to keep the free-to-play player happy. That's why there's always a free-to-play route where you can just enjoy the game. Because if you're not there, who am I bragging to?
But they also need to keep the pay-to-win player happy. That's why the free-to-play player has to fight them.
Yeah. So
or else they make no money.
Which is why our biggest advice is, if you ever want to get into app games, such as Raid Shadow Legends, Epic 7, if you want to get into things like Genshin. Genshin is technically an app game, and it blew up. But it's technically, you can just play it on your phone. It's not an issue. They need to constantly have those OP characters to fund the game, and then content to keep free-to-play players happy. So a lot of games we play have that free-to-play route, and it's perfectly viable.
You didn't explain to me how having those characters that you bought for PvP wouldn't also make you OP in PvE.
They have what they call kits. That's their moveset and everything that don't work for PvE.
Right. That's normally what they'll do as a fix. Like this, a great character, like, oh, this one counters evasion very, very well. Well, that's only really a PvP stat. Doesn't really work in PvE the same way. So it doesn't work. You know what I mean? Like, and that's, you know what they're doing in Destiny right now, where they're nerfing things against other human players? That's the kind of thing they'll do. So it works in PvP, so you can be the king, but your character works perfectly fine in PvE.
Epic 7's one of the best ones to explain. They have this thing called specialty change, which takes a 3-star hero, which is the bottom of the barrel from pulling that you can get. And there's like 5 or 10 of them that are very good once you specialty change them. And they're viable in PvE, PvP. Like, you could make an actual attempt at PvP with these free-to-play characters.
And then there's some people that like to argue, well, you know, I still don't want to play if the PvP is so money-driven. That ruins the game for me. Yeah, people don't realize this, though. Like, we know people in Destiny, even with the hackers that could destroy anybody, they, instead of spending money to get there, spend hours of their life. So it comes down to what are you quantifiably giving up? Cash, time, because you don't get good at PvP in a video game without time. There was a period where I decided I was going to try and get to EVO, the fighting game championship, and become like a fighting game guy. And I was spending like 5 to 6 hours a day practicing with my joystick and getting very good at the game. And it was like a couple months in, I'm like, all I'm doing is playing Street Fighter. Like, this is all I'm doing with my time. And I'm just fighting over and over and over. And this isn't fun anymore. You know what I mean? So it comes down to, what do you want to give up to be the top of PvP? But PvP in any game, any quantifiable measure, you are giving up something to be good at it. Or you play Mario Kart and just wait to the back until you get the blue shell and just...
Which has an app game now.
Yeah.
It's all come full circle.
Yeah.
You guys are slowly changing my opinion, but I will not say that I'm there yet.
I don't expect you to be.
What I've noticed
it will take time.
What I've noticed with app game players is there has to be that one game that finally convinces you to try. Then you start the world of app games.
It's only a matter of time before Bungie releases Destiny Mobile. Oh. And then we'll get you.
Oh, I could totally see that being a thing.
Oh no.
It'll have crossplay. You'll be at work on break. They'll be like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Just running strikes."
Running strikes with the boys.
Wait, isn't that what NVIDIA? Not NVIDIA.
NVIDIA Play or whatever, that shadow play thing they do. Yeah.
There's some way you can run it on your phone. One of our clan members is doing that right now. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm at work. I'm just running strikes." I'm like, shouldn't you be working?
Nah,
what people do.
I remember back in the day, Final Fantasy XIV allowed you to play on the PlayStation Vita And when that came out, I was like, oh, this is going to be the greatest thing ever. So I downloaded it. PlayStation. Like, here we go. PlayStation Vita remote play. Yeah, I can mine. That's about all I can get away with.
Yeah, there's not enough buttons on the Vita to make it work. That's what people fail to realize when they're like, oh, yeah, you could remote play on the Vita. There's only one R and L button. You need both for most games.
I'm going to go mining, and I'm going to craft. Anyway, that's I don't know what we're to call it. I guess my app game rant, but it's actually the big reason why I was one of the 3 big reasons I was so against getting into Genshin, because every time I would discuss Genshin, I'm like, oh, that's the new app game. Too many people are like, that's not an app game. I play it on PC.
Okay.
Still an app game. So is Fortnite.
I play Strike Force on the PC.
Yeah. Like I could play with you from my phone, Shank, if we were gonna play Fortnite. And I'm on the road, and I'm just like, all right, man, I'm jumping in. You'll be hard carrying me, but
I think it's a marketing issue. She quit referring to them as app games and refer to them as having mobile compatibility.
Well, I think it's going the other direction, because anything you download off the Windows Store is considered an app game. Here's your apps.
Right.
So I think
and I'm
PC.
saying that's a marketing issue.
On PC.
Yeah, on PC. So what I'm saying is I have a feeling that we're going the other way, where everything's just referred to as an app. But I also feel like you're right. I think everything's going to stop getting called an app game, and it's just going to be playable on your tablet. You know what they didn't do? The new Final Fantasy VII games that are coming out with gacha elements on the tablets, they didn't promote them as app games. It was mobile games. Like they're
I
trying
think that's
to
what they need to do.
It's just like with Outriders. Outriders was like, even if we become a live service, do not call us a live service, because that has a negative connotation now.
Yeah. It's all marketing.
Yeah.
Hey.
So, all right, we'll find a game, and once we finally find that game, it'll probably be the new Nier. I could see Shank trying the new Nier based on how normal it is with RPG battle elements. We will load up Shank's account with $1,000 of mobile game money, and we'll see how it goes.
No, we can't do that's
Then we
That's
lose
the
our
opposite
live
of what we
service
have
guy.
to do. It's the opposite, because if we give him the money, he knows to spend the money now, and he just assumes it's still money grubbing, Benny.
Oh, so just like our other friend who spent a boatload of money on Strike Force, and we were like, hey, you could have just earned 80%
All
of
of that.
And he's like, I don't know how, though.
We start him free to play and show him how to play the game. Then he decides if it's worth money, Benny.
It's already
give him a
not
hit,
working on my
get him
wife.
addicted.
I got my wife to finally play Arknights, and she's already coming in being like, so I did my free pull, and I didn't get the person I wanted. How do I get more of the free stuff? I'm like, you wait a month.
Keep playing.
Yeah, he's like, you keep playing, and the next month they'll give you more. She's like, but what if I want them now? I'm like, welcome.
That's where the money comes in.
Like, you don't need that character, but they're so cute. I agree. I have them.
They're great. You want them.
All right. Fun little discussion here. I hope you guys enjoyed. I don't know, just be a part of our podcast at this point, because I don't know what this would be attached to. What do you think about app games, though? Or mobile games, or just mobile versions of your games? Let us know in the comments down below, and we'll see you next time right here at Absolutely PlayStation and Steam Gamers.